Ever looked at a brand like Apple or Coca-Cola and just wondered how are they worth so much? It's definitely not just about the products they sell or the logo they stamp on them. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and really dig into the science of what makes a brand a multi-billion-dollar asset. And really, this is the whole game right here. Why is one name worth billions while another one, maybe selling almost the exact same thing, is basically worthless? What's the secret sauce? Well, that secret sauce actually has a name. It's called brand equity. And that's the big idea we're going to unpack. Think of it as all the extra value, the trust, the good vibes, the reputation that gets piled onto a product just because of the name on the box. It completely changes how we think, feel, and most importantly, act when we see it. Okay, so to get a handle on brand equity, first we've got to be clear on what a brand even is. And here's the key. It is so much more than just the physical thing you buy. At its most basic level, a brand is kind of like a mental shortcut. I mean, you walk into a store, there are a million choices. A brand you recognize helps you decide faster. It's a promise, right? A promise of quality. That reduces your risk of being disappointed. And when that promise is kept over and over, it builds this incredible foundation of trust. So, to really get this, we're going to break down brand value into 3 different levels. And we're starting at the most important place, inside our own heads. This is all about the customer's point of view. The real magic of a brand, the real power, it's all in the stuff you can't touch, the intangibles. It's not about the soda in the can. It's about the feelings, the history, the kind of person you picture drinking it. It's everything but the physical product. And what's wild is that we do this almost without thinking. We give brands human personalities. Researcher Jennifer Aaker broke this down into 5 big dimensions you see here. In the US, for example, ruggedness is a huge one. Think Jeep or Carhartt. But get this, that doesn't fly everywhere. In places like Japan and Spain, a totally different trait, peacefulness, pops up as more important. It just goes to show you how deep this stuff really goes. And because we see them as having personalities, we end up forming actual relationships with them. It's incredible. Researcher Susan Fournier put it perfectly. We don't just use brands. Some are just practical, like a marriage of convenience. But others, they can become like a best friendship or even a fun little fling. So how do you build all that value inside someone's head? Well, you can picture it like climbing a ladder. You have to start at the bottom with just basic awareness. Do people even know you exist? Then you build associations, the personality, the quality. That hopefully leads to a positive attitude, which can grow into a real emotional attachment. And the very top rung, that's activity, when your customers become your biggest fans. All right, let's climb to level 2. We've talked about what's happening in our minds. Now, how does all that good feeling and trust actually play out in the real world, in the marketplace? And this is the crucial connection. All those thoughts and feelings, they aren't just warm fuzzies. They translate directly into massive, tangible advantages for the business. I mean, just look at the difference here. A strong brand, people will happily pay more for it. Your ads work better because people already trust you. Stores want to put you on their shelves, and your competitors have a much harder time stealing your customers. A weak brand? Yeah, it's the exact opposite, a constant uphill battle. So to just boil it all down, it's about having more power. Pricing power, marketing power, and the power to defend your turf. And that brings us to the final level, the one everyone's waiting for, the money. How does all this talk about feelings and trust turn into cold, hard cash on a balance sheet? Well, here's the big shift in thinking. For a long time, marketing was just seen as an expense. But now it's understood that a company's brand is one of the most valuable assets it owns, period. And if you want proof, look no further. One major study found that companies that saw the biggest jumps in their brand equity also saw their stock returns go up by an average of 30%. The financial markets are paying very close attention, and they reward strong brands in a big way. It's actually pretty wild when you think about it. For a lot of these huge companies, their value on the stock market is way higher than the value of all their physical stuff combined, all their factories, offices, and equipment. And a massive piece of that gap, you guessed it, it's the brand. So we've seen the 3 levels, mind, market, then money. Now let's tie it all together with something called the brand value chain. This shows how it all connects to create this powerful, self-reinforcing loop. Everything kicks off with what the company actually does. Its marketing, the quality of its products, its customer service, the whole shebang. Those actions go out into the world and directly shape what we, the customers, think and feel. It builds that awareness and those positive associations we talked about. Okay, so once the customer mindset is positive, that directly drives how the brand performs in the market. People buy more, they pay more, and the company's market share grows. And finally, that amazing market performance creates real, measurable financial value, which you can see reflected right in the company's stock price. And here's the brilliant part. The money made at the end of the chain gets reinvested right back into the beginning, into better products and better marketing. This creates a virtuous circle. It's how strong brands just keep getting stronger, making it almost impossible for anyone else to catch up. So a brand isn't just a logo. It's a living, breathing financial asset that's built systematically, from a feeling in your gut all the way to a number on Wall Street. And that leaves us with a pretty big question for today. In a world that's more connected and more crowded than ever, what's the next great frontier for building a brand that's worth billions?